Here you go, mate. Just whenever you're ready.
Okay. So I'm Michael Waples. I'm 34, and I think I had a lifelong interest in acting from childhood and into adulthood. But in different stages of my life, my family moved around a lot. Some places, like, there were drama classes and whatnot. Some places there weren't. Some places, sometimes I was encouraged. Other places, I was definitely not encouraged. And it was always something that really fascinated me, but I didn't quite have the courage to commit to it when I was younger. And it was only after going through a lot of life changes that by the time I was about 31, just several career changes, I went, "No, I'm going to do acting. I'm going to do acting." I've already used up maybe a third of my life. So I might as well just give it a shot, even if it doesn't work out. Yeah, that's about 2.5 years ago that I started to take it seriously. Started going to acting classes, started looking for projects to work on, started just networking, meeting other actors and directors out there, and just learning what it is to be like as creative, really, and just trying to immerse myself in theatre, in film, in screenplays, in telling stories, and in just yeah, just always trying to get something out into the world, because that's I didn't realize how it was important to me until I really started doing it. Um, I remember when I was like 28 or something. Um, like I had like dabbled very briefly here and there in my early 20s with acting, but then went, "Oh no, I can't do it. I'm never going to make it," and ended up doing university. So I study economics, got a real job, quote unquote, and then I seemingly made it. I'd seemingly got the hard yards. I had a decent career ahead of me, but I remember going into the office day in day out and being like, there is a part of me that is just never going to live. Uh, I will never know what it's like. Um, and you know that was that was a weird thing to wrestle with. But now, now I'm really trying to live it and breathe it, and it's hard. It's in some ways I could never quite see myself doing it, and yet I could only see myself doing it at the same time, if that makes any sense. It's in some ways it's really hard to believe uh, that I'm doing it, that I'm backing myself, because I generally always just was quite risk averse and listen to other people's ideas. But now, now that I'm committed to it, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work out. I might not be successful, so to speak, but like, um, like I just have to do it. So it's been a wonderful journey so far. A wonderful journey, even if I don't necessarily have you know credits or money to show for it so far. It's just every day I get to do something like this, to work on a cool new project, or experience something different in performance or getting to work with someone new, it's fuck yeah, Yeah. So yeah, that's been my acting journey so far.
Nice. Okay, now, do you have any favourite actors or anything like that, or?
Yeah, got a few, I suppose. Guy Pearce, I really like Guy Pearce. Amy Adams. I really love Amy Adams. I don't know what it is about her, but like every role I've seen her in, I've believed her. Like other actors, I feel like they're doing a good job, but you see the actor before you see the character or the role. Like even really like Will Smith, he's actually quite a good actor, but I always see Will Smith is in Men in Black. Will Smith is in The Pursuit of Happiness. But Amy Adams, I always see like the character, you know, in a really real kind of way. Yeah, I don't know how she does it. She's just yeah.
What kind of movies? What kind of movies do you like to watch, or what? You know, your movie experience, I guess, as a fan.
Hmm. Uh, can depend on the mood. I do really like a lot of dramatic film, I suppose. And I remember before this we were talking a bit about slow cinema. I remember at uni I did this course on East Asian film, and I really got a bit into the films of like Zhang Yimou and Edward Young, and these really beautiful slow films that just like some films like particularly Zhang Yimou, like they're very much a real visual feast, and almost the like the shots and just like I don't know, the imagery that unfolds on screen tells more than any dialogue could in his films. And whereas like Edward Young, it's like visually his films are much more toned down, but they're just these very intimate little portraits, and like how he just has this real stillness with his frame, and how he's like almost like voyeuristic in a way, how it just like peers into a family living room, and he'll just like wait patiently while people sort of like try and carry on with their lives, while like little cracks of pressure just start to show here and there, and how he like really tried to dig into the psyche of everyday people living in Taiwan. He was a Taiwanese director, and how he like also tried to capture like boring and mundane moments, and moments that'll be far too tedious for a lot of Hollywood films. But like he wanted to, because those moments would like help in a weird kind of way, help like let tension build. And then when it came out, it came out dramatically, because it's like weird mirror to life. I felt like sometimes like really shocking or really upsetting moments, they happen on a really ordinary, mundane looking day. Like it'll be like I don't know, 2 p.m. on a Thursday, and then you get a call out of the blue. Your grandmother's had a stroke, or you found out your partner was cheating on you. It's not always at this like really dramatic midnight sort of thing where you're out and you're doing stuff. Sometimes it's just all the conversations that you have about, I don't know, a parent start showing signs of, I don't know, like aging, or something is revealed. So yeah, like I guess yeah, I like a lot of family dramas, like all those sorts. But in saying that, I also like some really escapist dramas in a way, like Memento. That's probably one of my favorite films. But I still think even that kind of film, it's at its core, it's still about things like the search for identity. Like people watch something Memento, it's like, oh, that's really cool. They shot everything backwards. It's told back, and that's a really interesting and innovative way of filmmaking. But the core of it is just a guy who's just struggling to find purpose in his life when he's experienced trauma. And I think that's stuff like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Really, it's just people dealing with just having dealing with traumatic or difficult moments in their life, and how people deal with things, deal with themselves, how they make piece their identity together. So yeah,
That's cool. Oh yeah. Do you got any cool stories or anything like experiences? Or I know I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah.
Well, a cool experience relating to what
Anything.
exactly?
Anything.
I do remember I used to live in Newcastle.
Oh, what was that like?
It's great.
Side note, I got this recently. I had this weird fascination with the Central Coast area, sort of thing.
Sunny Coast.
So it'd be interesting to hear your experience at Newcastle.
It was great. I wasn't sure how I would find it because I was born and raised in Sydney, but then like I told you before, my family moved overseas when I was about 9. We went to Taiwan for a few years, in Hong Kong. We came back when I was 18. And so I lived in all these big cities, and I wasn't sure what it'd be like living in Newey, but it was, it's only about 300,000 people, but moved there and it was great. It's like more slow paced and whatnot, but people were more relaxed and chill. The thing is though, like being a smaller place, it kind of forces, in a weird way, everyone into closer proximity with each other. Somewhere like Sydney, it's big enough that you can just be like kind of live in your mini bubble, one area to another. Whereas Newcastle, you just rub shoulders with, well, pretty much everyone that's there because there's only so many streets about. And some of the strangest, most bizarre characters, like real larger than life people, I just sort of like bump into on the street or on the bus. I'd hop on the bus and there'll be someone just on the phone with their mate, just talking about how they just came out of court and how they've just sort of like they were just bashed yesterday, but it was the other person's fault, and they kind of bashed someone, and they need to talk to like Luann because Luann's been blowing up about this, and I actually pinched this, but don't tell Darren that, and so like it's just
it's a character.
Yeah.
It's its own weird character.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's big enough to like you can live comfortably, like it's sort of touching on a city like sort of thing. But it's small enough. It's like it's some random country town. Yeah.
Like, did you like ever live around Sunny Coast?
No, I've got family up there. I've got family friends. Like I said, my recent ex lived around there, Batu Bay. Sort of thing. Right. So it's just I know what you mean. There's a weird fascination about it. It's just like what because I from Palm Beach, where Home and Away is filmed, you can take a ferry from there to Edelong. Sort of thing. Around Edelong as well, I got in Warroy, I got this weird vibe to it. Alright. And it's just down the road from my ex's house was like I don't know what the guy's story was. She reckons he was squatting there, but he would always go to the green strip outside the house and just sleep there for 2 hours, like a can of Coke and a packet of cigarettes, and don't know what out the specific house. So we think he's squatting there, or she thinks she was squatting there. And just like coming from Sydney, it's very much the city life, big city sort of thing. But we walked. One time we were walking to the shops, and then the actual public bus will pull over to somebody's house and drop them.
All right.
Rather than go
There
to the
you go.
bus. And I'm like, yeah, I thought that was weird because in Sydney that would not happen.
No,
The guy's
yeah.
like, fuck no, you fucking bus stop and that's it. But the bus driver will actually go past your house and let you off at your house. And just things of that kind of like weirded me out. And like I said, just walking around, I'm like, this is so country. That's such a small town. But at the same time, because it's so close to Sydney, this bits and pieces, I'm like, oh, this feels like Sydney sort of thing, the vibes and all that. But Newcastle, Gosford, maybe Wyong as well. You can kind of like, I can actually get a job here and work here, sort of thing. Terrigal is the spot too. Reminds me that Terrigal and Ettalong and Umina, and maybe bits and pieces really remind me of Sydney, like the Northern Beaches sort of thing as well.
True.
But yeah, like it's like other than that, it's like I don't know, it's just so country. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like it's stuck in time while trying to be modern at the same time.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but that's just me from Sydney though.
Were there any memorable people you met around there?
Not really, because my ex lived a very much a loner life like me, very quiet, so that didn't happen. But it's just, like I said, it's just one of those things, because I think because that wasn't home to me, I'll be there for like such a short time, then come back.
Right.
So I didn't have that experience and stuff, sort of thing. Because when I was out there, I was there to see my ex, and that was it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So my attention was always on her. So I didn't have that sort of like, I'm living here, I'm working here, sort of thing, day in and day out, sort of thing. I was always like, okay. When I was growing up, it was always to see like my family or family friends. I got an aunt who lived at Yarmalong for a while. Then my family friends lived around Avoca Beach for a bit too.
Okay.
So
nice.
yeah. So when I was there, I was actually there for an actual reason, sort of thing. Yeah, but really weird.
I will say, like, living in Newcastle, I mean, this admittedly was, like, a bit of a while ago now, but it was, like, it was the first time in my life I actually felt like I stood out, or people had, like, made a point of bringing attention to the fact that I was, like part Asian, or Asian descent. Because, like, I don't know, Sydney's very multicultural and whatnot. And also lived in Asia, but then like I moved up to Newcastle, and like some people were just like very interesting and curious, like, "Are you Asian or something, mate? You Chinese?" Yeah. But other people were just like, well, mostly just drunks. Yeah. Like will heckle me like, fucking four-eyed cunt. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think because like I don't have this problem, but I think people in specifically Sydney and Melbourne, they're very much global cities, but. Oh, not global, but big international cities, I'd say, more. But they don't realise how much Australian it is outside those. Yeah, if that makes sense. Because I lived in Brisbane for 3 years, but that very much was like, no, this is very much Australian. Yeah, sort of thing for 3 years. But and like I said, I've had experience being up Central Coast, so I've had that experience outside of Sydney really very much.
Oh yeah.
Sort of thing. Like, but like you said, it's like because it's an international city. You meet everyone from everywhere in the world and stuff. You got the Sydney CBD. So we talked about Surrey Hills. And all that sort of stuff. But people in Sydney and Melbourne don't realise that until they actually leave. Sort of thing. Yeah, because I'm like, even though like okay, the ferry ride between Palm Beach and Ettalong's half an hour.
Right.
But just across the water. But it's Palm Beach very much is like this is very much Sydney. Yeah. But Ettalong's like, no, this is like Sydney, Australia sort of thing. It's like,
So like, there's a little bit about that water line.
Yeah, it's like the ferry ride's always about half an hour, give or take.
Yeah. I feel like in Western Sydney that line is somewhere across, just past Blacktown. Yeah. Blacktown, you start moving into the rest of Australia.
Yeah, so this is very much Australia, yeah. But I couldn't, funny because I completely forgot about this dude. Talking about, Australians and Asian people. I went to school. I can't remember where he was from or why his parents moved here to Sydney. But he said he never met an Asian person until he was 14, 15.
Right.
And I just thought everyone in my class thought that was fucking weird.
Was he from the Shire or something?
No, he was just from some country town in New South Wales, out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And we just thought it was a mind fuck because here in Sydney you see everyone from everywhere, sort of thing. Like it's really easy to kind of blend in. But you just never thought of like people from random country towns. Just like, no, I've never seen an Asian person in real life. You just think, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Where are you from? And it's like, no, it's just none of them there. It's just, I thought it was really weird. We just thought it was a mind fuck. Like, he never met this. He spent like 15 years of life and never, But like, it's just weird how you forget how isolated some places are.
Yeah, you forget how fucking far everything is.
Yeah.
You live out Lightning Ridge or something, and there's like fucking nearly 10 hours.
As you can see, we're in the Northern Beaches. It's surfing beaches everywhere. So around here in the Northern Beaches, everybody inherently knows how to swim and surf. Even if they don't surf themselves, they know how to deal with like 6-foot waves in the ocean.
Yeah.
So people around this Pacific, not everywhere in Sydney, like there's heaps of people like Bondi, Bronte, a lot of the beach communities. They know how that doesn't scare them, but they forget that there's millions of Australians who've never been in the ocean before.
Yeah.
And to them, it's kind of like they don't know, like they would not even go near with a beach with waves and stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. You forget about that if you don't meet people.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, not being able to swim at all as a grown adult, I'm like, damn, how?
And you forget, there's heaps of people that've never seen the ocean before and everything. Like, not even within Australia alone, just heaps of countries. Yeah. But it's just weird. Anyway, let's cut this off.
Alright.
Yeah.